O's, or maybe it's just O with 6 O's, like oh. Anyways, we're well into the beginnings of this first game's draft, and it is a best of 2. No one's getting eliminated here, but the better they do in this group stage, the better off their playoff run will be, or at least the better seeded they'll be for their playoff run. Spicy Thieves are through with their bans, getting rid of Gyrocopter, Clockwork, and Omni Knight, while O with 6 O's bans out Chen, Lycan, and the Razor. Chen and Lycan, incredibly strong early game push heroes that have kind of seen a bit of a resurgence. Not to mention, I know for a fact Spicy Thieves Control plays that Lycan pretty damn well, but Spicy Thieves picked up the Elder Titan, one of the more high priority supports. This does leave Tusk and Witch Doctor as options available for O. I wonder if they will go for that.
Team pick.
I expect at least one of them, but another pushing hero. They decided to pick up that Beastmaster, maybe banning out all of the pushing options that Spicy Thieves had so that they can take what's left for themselves.
Seconds.
Sorry about that. Was just fixing a couple final things
remaining
for the stream. It is on a 5-minute delay, so you guys will be just a bit behind. Still waiting on O's second pick. I feel like it's going to be Witch Doctor or Tusk. If they wanted another pushing hero, I don't know what I would go in the first phase. But that was actually a hero that went unbanned that I completely missed out on, was the Dark Willow. Dark Willow, incredibly good team fighting hero. In the lane, I think she's pretty good, but she is a bit greedy, needs a couple levels, wants to get a point into all of her spells, and once that happens, she really spikes in effectiveness. And Terrorize is one of the best AoE, like crowd control ultimates in the game right now, for sure. Speaking of AoE crowd control ultimates, Tidehunter's Ravage added to Spicy Thieves' arsenal as their second pick. It's interesting to me that they picked it second. I suppose they were concerned that O was going to ban it. But Spicy Thieves and O, both with the heroes that they've picked, having really high amounts of crowd control. You've got Ravage, you've got Echo Stomp for Spicy Thieves, not to mention Earth Splitter itself, pretty good as a CC spell, great slow. O, with everything Dark Willow does is a stun, or root, or whatever. And Beastmaster's Roar is one of the most powerful single target crowd control spells in Dota. Pierces spell immunity.
Remaining.
Does not pierce Kraken Shell, though. Can be broken by that.
Remaining.
Spicy Thieves have banned out Medusa. Terrorblade banned out by O, as well as Disruptor. Luna, the last ban of the second phase, banned out by Spicy Thieves. O with 6 O's. I wanted to say O with the first pick in the second phase. And they opt for the Phantom Lancer. Right now, Spicy Thieves have enough control that I think they can isolate the real PL relatively easily. It's not going to be impossible anyways. They may want to get another illusion clearing hero, but so many of the good ones have already been removed. You don't have Gyro, you don't have Dusa, Luna.
10 seconds remaining.
At least the safe lane illusion clearing heroes, not really there.
Remaining.
There's not a lot of them up. They still have one more support to pick. They could go for... actually, I do wonder.
Team pick.
However, my wondering is at an end. They grab Venomancer. It appears like that could be safe lane. That could be a safe lane hero. It has a lot of AoE, but not in the sense that it feels like deals with PL that well. It's more like you're killing heroes with this hero. Illusions... His AoE
remaining.
is on an incredibly long cooldown. Like the Sneeze Ball, the Poison Nova, all very long CD spells, or at least spells you're not really wanting to use to clear illusions. It does mean that Spicy Thieves themselves do some good pushing, gives them a nice vision advantage with the wards, and it's a safe hero. Rubik is kind of a go-to for a lot of people as a hard 5. This game, you can obviously steal Ravage. A couple of Venos spells are pretty dang good to steal. Echo Stomp, not bad. Spicy Thieves snagging the Shadow Fiend, so a lot of damage on the Spicy Thieves side right now. A lot of magic damage until Shadow Fiend gets some items. The Rubik will be very good against that. For a while, the aura he has will help his teammates a fair
10
amount
seconds
against that
remaining.
Raze, against the Veno. Tide, I suspect someone on O will
5
want to pick up a
seconds
pipe. Most
remaining.
likely the Beastmaster. There's not a ton. There's not like a really good pipe carrier on O. Now waiting for those final bans. I believe Spicy Thieves are looking for a support. I don't personally like Veno as a support that much because it is incredibly greedy. It needs a ton of levels, as does the Elder Titan as a hard 5. I'm not a big fan of. I think as a roamer, once he gets to level 2, he's incredibly strong. There's so much setup potential with that sleep. So I feel like this is a safe lane Veno, and that Spicy Thieves are going to be looking for a 5th pick support. However, waiting on that last ban, perhaps debating whether or not it's going to be a support, if it's a safe laner. I would probably, I still assume it's going to be a support. Disruptor has already been banned though, and that's probably one of the better 5s left in the pool, especially considering that Rubik has been picked up by O. There's still the Witch Doctor. A lot of damage for them, and it's I like Witch Doctor as like a nice mix to add some physical damage to it, but it's really bad against Phantom Lancer. You just basically give a free spell steal to Rubik. Yeah, there's really not a ton. They don't have like an IO partner or anything, but ban out the Morphling, and that leads me to believe that they imagine it's going to be a carry, which it could be. Spicy Thieves could be looking for a carry. Already have theirs. They're going to be hunting for a mid laner. Death Prophet still exists. I don't feel like it'd be terrible. She can build BKB and is pretty happy with that, and BKB carriers this game are going to be incredibly high value. OD is another hero that is still available. For O, I don't think Spicy Thieves will pick that unless they're doing something weird like a safe lane Shadow Fiend, which I cannot say I condone. There's also a Tinker if they wanted to go for some split push, and they have some good tower hitting already with just Beastmaster by himself. I guess I like for O the OD a lot. Once OD gets a BKB, he'd be practically unstoppable. And like, we'll wait and see what this last pick is. I think they need some heavy physical damage, so Lifestealer might not be too bad, but again, just not good against PL. It doesn't do that much against PL. He could go like a Radiance is really standard right now, but instead they grab Bane. So it is a support that they were after, and the Veno is going to be their one position. He'll go Maelstrom almost for sure. That means O. Still after that mid, I like OD a lot for O. Bane, there's so much control on Spicy Thieves that they can lock down and kill this PL before he gets an Illusion Army. They have okay AoE. Tide might even seek an Aghanim Scepter at some point so that he can clear these Phantom Lancer illusions effectively. Shadow Fiend, Requiem will pretty much just destroy any illusions near him. O could also grab a Viper. That's something kind of mid-gamey, and if they have a Beastmaster, they might consider trying to end it in the mid-game. But I still like OD. They went for Viper instead. So really mid-gamey, will probably beat Shadow Fiend just in poke. Shadow Fiend can burst him down. There's plenty of potential there for the Shadow Fiend for Frogger to find a kill on Zucifer. But in terms of just trading, Viper will come out on top with the poison attack. And the corrosive skin and right-click trades just adds up quickly. There is so much they can gank him with, though. Bane, Elder Titan, O themselves have Dark Willow and Rubik, though, so they could easily grab this Shadow Fiend, especially after just a couple levels on that Dark Willow. A lift over into the Bramble Maze is, I won't say a guaranteed kill, but especially if you Curse Crown and then lift them, yikes, there's a lot of potential there for O. Both teams with very heavy crowd control. I think Spicy Thieves, it depends on how well LDK does on this Venomancer. I'm a bit nervous for them. Just the Phantom Lancer, if the Veno does well and could get an early Maelstrom or Mjolnir or whatever, they're probably going to be okay. And Viper could pick up, or sorry, that's on the other side. Otherwise, their clear isn't great. They might want to get, depending on how out of control, like they could just crush this PL in lane, and then it's not a concern for them. But they shouldn't count out PL. All right, well, we are now underway in this first game. I'm unable to really personally come up with a call just based on this draft. And we have a short pause. Oh, you know what I just realized? My thing is broken. During this pause, I am going to take a moment to put in a console command that helps me with my camera operation. It is now properly working. Elder Titan for Spicy Thieves, being played by Live Grade, while Control is on the Tidehunter, Slavonic, the Nightmare Elemental Bane, Shadow Friend, being played by Frogger, Young Lean, and then LDK is playing Venomancer. On the other side of the map, the Phantom Lancer, BDC. In the mid, there's Viper by Zucifer. Rubik, being played by Sparkles, with the Dark Willow, the newest addition to Dota's Captain's Mode, by Fire and Wind on the Beastmaster at bot lane. Very fitting name for a Beastmaster, screaming at people, and they suddenly find themselves incapacitated for, what, 3.5 seconds? 3 seconds, and then the slow for another bit of time. How much fun is that? This should be a pretty... he did start Axes. It's very standard to go for the to max Axes and just try to kill enemy heroes. Gonna be kind of hard for a Beastmaster to kill a Veno though.
30 seconds to battle.
Just once he gets points in wards and poison at sting, it's basically you're not really gonna be able to catch him. In the mid, I think there's kill potential on both sides. It depends on how well Frogger trades. If he gets way too, if he bites off more than he could chew, he could just have to burn through all his regen really quickly. But there's so much burst damage on a Shadow Fiend that he could certainly kill Zucifer's Viper. It's going to be an interesting lane, and the support rotations will play a pretty significant role in how it plays out, I believe. 3 bounty runes going for 140 gold per hero or 600 gold total. God help us. Oh, Jesus. Anyways, this safe lane, a tri-lane against the Tidehunter. They have respectable damage. They're going to disregard my request. Respectable damage and a great amount of control. In this case, though, I would probably start Kraken Shell. Just so you don't get zoned out. Also, if they get a bunch of control on him, he would be able to get it purged off by that Kraken Shell. For Wind, he can CS with the Wild Axes. Oh, he got sneezed on very slow. He is gaining that speed back over time, but he's taking so much damage. I think he should be fine here. He has axes, and he can throw those at Live Grade, who's taking a fair amount of damage. He's back up to full speed and forced to use his salve early. But in terms of trading, in regards to the trade, it's not that bad. He did force a tiny bit of regen out from the Elder Titan, who just has a billion tangos, though. Tidehunter going to be poked by Spirit Lance, Shadow Realm. Some good damage. Yeah, and that kind of harass is the kind that Tidehunter really cannot manage as Magic. Some action in the mid lane as Sparkles rotates. And Zucifer continues to be enfeebled. This is one way to really set up to win trades against such a lane dominating hero like a Viper, is you just keep enfeebling him. And then all of his damage is coming from the poison attack, which at level 1 has a 6-second cooldown. And then 1 raise. Oh, 2 raises. Not able to get the close raise, though. And I don't think he'd be able to just walk up to him. But if that raise comes off cooldown, as I mentioned earlier, and just overall poke, just basic right-click trades, it's Viper favored, but that burst damage from the Shadow Fiend, as we just saw Frogger able to dish out some respectable damage. Bane wanders by, probably going to try to enfeeble. More Spirit Lance harass from BDC. LDK and BDC, nice. Frogger forced to use his salve. Lucifer out of region completely. Sparkles donates a Tango. And it's going to be sitting in lane with him for a while. Probably wants to try to poke back the Shadow Fiend a little bit, but Bane's still here as well. This makes things a bit... It's going to be a 2v2 mid for some time. Especially more it's like a reactive play from O. The Bane being there, throwing out those enfeebles and probably brain saps has caused some serious problems for Lucifer. He's very far behind on CS, and against Shadow Fiend it's already so hard to CS. And getting behind on it, allowing him to collect those souls, it can be almost impossible to come back into the lane after that point. But he's getting assistance from his Rubik. However, it is putting him behind in levels. A bit of a drawback to that recovery strategy. Frogger using his second salve. Both heroes had one ferried in. That was the mid-range raise. They have the long raise. Hasn't cast it. He sees Sparkles. Elder Titan. Echo Stomp does not land. Bane has no Nightmare. Uses Brain Sap and Feeble. Echo Stomp in 3 seconds. I don't know if they can catch up with him. However, he's taking a ton of damage. There's a lift. Poison attack. Fade Bolt and Feeble.
Double damage.
He just finds Cybonic with a DD. Might look to trade with some people, but it forces Lucifer away from the lane. He goes and picks up a Bounty Rune, but Frogger almost going to be 2 levels ahead of him at that point once he gets back. The bright side for O at this point is their Phantom Lancer has farmed nicely. He's having a good lane. Though, so is the Tide Hunter. When he's sneezed, they have an Echo Stomp. He's put to sleep. Bane has the Brain Sap. He's trying to TP out. Will he? One more hit, and Cybonic with that DD Rune able to get the first blood. Biting off more than he can chew for sure. Seeing the DD Rune on Cybonic should have signaled a retreat, but he stuck around for a while longer. Shadow Realms, Spirit Lance, Bramble Maze, rooting up Control, ducking and dodging away. Anchor Smash. They don't have any more Willow spells for a while. Incredibly long CDs and Cybonic TPing up. Sparkles throws at the Fade Bolt. Not enough mana for Spirit Lance. They put him to sleep. This could set up for something though, and yeah, one right click from BDC and Fire. They cracked the watermelon wide open. Looking at these offlaners, Wind level 4, almost 5. Tide Hunter still level 3, so the offlane favoring O right now. As that Beastmaster, when he gets to that 6, will be a force to be reckoned with. But LDK's Poison Sting and Venomous Gale has been a huge nuisance to this Beastmaster. Once he gets Roar online, it's possible they get a kill on Veno. He's not very mobile, and they definitely have the damage, especially if he gets hit by double axes. Sparkles back in the mid lane, and Frogger level 6. And 29 CS ahead of that Viper. Frogger, this Shadow Fiend is going to be a terror to deal with for the Dire, unless they find some kills on him and find them soon, as their Viper struggling to even get a foothold in this game. Now LDK going to have to deal with the harass from the Dark Willow. 200 damage, man. That Shadow Realm, oof. They also moved to the Elder Titan, or on the side of Spicy Thieves. They moved Elder Titan up top.
Radiant's middle tower is not safe.
So both safe laners having to deal with some harass. They bring Live Grade back. Do they want to try to get a kill? Shadow Realm.
Dire's top tower.
Bane, Nightmare, this sets up perfectly for an Echo Stomp and a Sneeze. She throws her Barrel Maze, but she's already asleep, already trapped. Cursed Crown, she's so slow. I think she dies here. The Staple Gun from Live Grade, and that last right click will do it. She didn't expect to be, that Bane was going to be right here, so she positions aggressively up here, and just opens herself to be punished by the Bane. Good rotation from Live Grade, allowing that Sleep to follow up the Nightmare, which just sets up for so much damage. Lift, the mid, if they can get this kill, that would be huge for them. He Fairy Fires, short raise, misses. Doesn't have enough mana for the long raise. Frogger just survives. A good rotation from Cybonic, saving his mid laner. And Frogger salving once more. But that kill would have been so, so good for O. But they miss out on it. However, they've smoked up. Perhaps want to get this Tide Hunter again. He is level 5. But PL at level 7. Spirit Lance. Bane broke their smoke, which may sour the whole gank. Or will it? It appears they're looking for him. Control is low. Shadow Realm, right click will do a lot of damage. He gets Sneaker Smash, and I don't think he can get the Shadow Realm. They have lift. Telekinesis. Going back, Cybonic. Echo Stomp puts 2 to sleep. Cursed Crown. I don't think they engage on this. They just want to use that to disengage. So another nice rotation from Spicy Thieves supports, able to save their offlaner that time. Cybonic breaking the smoke. I don't know if, unlikely that that was on purpose, but still doing so, allowing Control to be aware. It kind of slows down the gank speed from O, and then Live Grade rotates in with that Echo Stomp, completely turning the gank off.
Denied.
Farm is even everywhere except in the mid, where Frogger just crushing it on farm. He is level 8. And with 68 last hits, 17 denies. The closest hero in the game is BDC with 45 and 29 denies. So overall CS pretty even for those two if you factor in denies. Nightmare on Viper. Oh, they don't have Echo Stomp. He doesn't have any stick charges. He's trying to body block. Lift. Viper Strike on the Elder Titan. Shadow Realm damage. If he steps into something, he could be in trouble. But no, he actually uses his damage onto another bit. That poison attack tick. And a right click from Fire gets that kill onto the Elder Titan. A good kill there in the mid. It's not the kill that they wanted. It's not that Shadow Fiend. But they get something. I think Live Grade, not necessary to TP in there. He's kind of out of mana. Doesn't really do anything. Like Elder Titan's right clicks are fine. Let's see how much damage. It's 62. That's okay. But also completely trying to get the body blocks in to help. It was a good effort, but you don't know who's on the high ground. Your Shadow Fiend got lifted. At that point, I think it's a kind of like a abort mission. BDC only 1.4k till his Diffusal Blade. Control will have level 6 very, very soon though. LDK getting that Veil of Discord that we see Venomancers, even as carries pick up. It boosts the damage of your Poison Sting, your ult, and even the Maelstrom that he will, I imagine, get at some point. They're going to want something like that anyways to deal with the Phantomancer illusions. Beastmaster queuing up that Necro. Still a ways away from that level 1. While Frogger is approaching his Drums of Endurance. Good at that move speed, some attack speed, good stat item. The active also great for pushing towers. It's just an overall very good, fairly cheap item. Even with Frogger's great start in the mid, he is, in terms of CS... Oh, Bane! Gone on. The Echo Stomp puts 2 to sleep. They committed Roar for that Bane. Viper also rotating in for that kill. So another kill picked up by O. Just another support. I don't think... Have any of the cores died? I think Beastmaster did die. Cursed Crown. They don't have Roar. And a TP from Cybonic can save his teammates anyway. That Shadow Realm damage, just such potent poke. Very short cooldown later. Live grade with a haste and an Echo Stomp. I don't know that they can kill PL. They may need to commit Ravage if they want to. They do have that Ravage. There's no points in Gust. And he's not going to go for that Echo Stomp, or at least it doesn't appear so. Nightmare. They have Poison Nova. They get the sneeze. Poison Nova hits on 2. He gets lifted back, thrown into a Bramble in the Bramble Maze, and the Shadow Realm damage. Finishing, or the right click from Wind with the help of that Shadow Realm damage kills LDK. That is a kill that they were after. They finally get one of the cores, or at least one of the farming cores. The Tidehunter had died once, but LDK, a great kill for O to pick up. Nicely executed using that Rubik to lift you back into a Bramble from the Bramble Maze. They just have so much magic damage. Both sides really have just an incredibly large amount of the magic damage.
Is under fire.
Only 1k now, and Beastmaster gets his first rank of his Necros. Those Necros contributing in every aspect of the hero's kit for getting solo kills. Speaking of, they put one to sleep. Shadow Realm, and no one is in the neighborhood to help capitalize on that sleep. Sparkle's putting down an aggressive ward. Looks like he stole Poison Nova. Oof. Although he doesn't have the mana right now to support that, he may try to use it on Tide. Great spell against that hero, who is great against physical damage, but not as good against magic. He does the lift, throwing him back. Spirit Lance. There's still a Ravage if he wants to use it defensively. Sparkle's not enough mana to Poison Nova or Fade Bolt. BDC chasing with his creep wave, but we'll head back up towards the top lane, seeing that they can't really get this kill. Shadow Fiend drums done. Frogger queues up a Dragon Lance as his next item. Viper Strike axes, and the poison damage from Zucifer finishing live grade off. Yet another kill. O starting to find some objectives, rotating heroes around the map. Spicy Thieves have a wicked team fight just with the Ravage, just with the Elder Titan spells. But if O keep getting this together, I mean, they've got a Beastmaster on their team. Losing a fight against Beastmaster could just be the doom of things. They have Roar, Curse Crown. They committed more, stacking it with that Curse Crown a little bit. Lift, and LDK done for. That Roar probably not even necessary either. Ooh, Frogger rotating, using his first drum charge. And unfortunately, we don't get both kills in that. But I think that does favor Spicy Thieves, who are a little bit behind, especially since Frogger killed PL, who was at the top of the net worth, which has been replaced by this Shadow Fiend. Spicy Thieves also going to claim the first tower fortification used, but just to slow things down. Frogger TP's mid. LDK seems to be going mid. Fuse Raindrops eating one raise. Oh, he's slow at Zucifer. He's dead. Right clicks from LDK there. Both teams trading 1-for-1 on towers. Oh, losing that Viper in the mid. Not great. Not something they want to be doing. They've lost 2 cores in a very short time, and their Viper already pretty poor. Haste snagged by BDC. Looks like he's going to run back top. He wants to finish his defusal before he gets super involved. Scouting with the Spirit. Shadow Realm from Fire. They may want to forfeit this. Ravage on control. They need to be careful if they go in on this. Echo Stomp sleeps 2. Ravage hitting 4 heroes. Oh, the Requiem gets canceled. Poison Nova. Terrify on all 4. That's so much damage. There's so much control. Are they going to be able to get control? Speaking of, the Poison Nova stolen again. They've already lost Venom. Already lost Shadow Fiend. Now they're losing another. The Echo Star, or this Earthsplitter dodged, but a beautiful Echo puts them to sleep, lulling them to sleep after a very, very significant engagement. 3 for 2, and they saved their tier 1. In that fight, only a 400 gold swing for O, but XP going 1,000 their way. Great Ravage and a good initiation. They were spread. They were so spread that when that Ravage that hit everyone that was there at the time, they weren't able to capitalize on it. And then they were able to stun the Shadow Fiend before he could Requiem, and it just snowballed out of control there. Tier 1 mid, fortified.
Radiant's middle tower
going to fall.
attack.
Really great play from everyone on O, and even Spicy Thieves played that fight very, very well. Livegrade has been really excellent with his Echo Stomps, but the Ravage, setting up for that Ravage really nicely. But again, the O heroes were so spread, the fight kind of on two fronts, one here and then behind the tier 1. They just didn't know where to go. Got caught in a really weird spot against the Terrorize. I'm pretty sure 4 of their heroes got caught by a Poison Nova. Speaking of getting caught, Root, Curse Crown, Viper Strike. Do they have the damage? They're channeling that Shadow Realm. He's slowed up a lot. And the Shadow Realm, yeah, that's enough. The Shadow Realm damage is just so much. But Fiend's Grip for a nice return. They punish the Viper.
Radiant's top tower is getting walloped.
And that's probably pretty good for Spicy Thieves, ending that killing spree. Meanwhile, at the top lane, Shove coming in from the Beastmaster and Freds. He's got that aura maxed out. 2, Necro 2 in stash. Will they try to continue pushing? There's Ravage up in 20 seconds. He's had mech for a tiny while now. That'll very, very possibly change the outcome of that next fight. They force fortification, and there's no tier 1s left, so this one actually going to be on cooldown for 5 minutes. I don't know if they can save Echo Stomp. PL dodges. Rubik put to bed, but they go right back in on that tower. And they're going to take that first tier 2 at just 17 minutes, but the bot, tier 1, will fall. They pop Drubs trying to run away, and Frogger tanking that Shadow Realm damage, but he does escape. Veil of Discord picked up by LDK. The only issue with the Veil is it does increase his sustained damage because of Poison Sting. But it's and even Venomous Gale, not a horrible cooldown. But Poison Nova is a very long cooldown, and if he doesn't hit a lot of heroes with that Poison Nova with that Veil until he gets something like a Maelstrom or whatever right click item he's gonna go, if he does go right click items, he could go for an Axe. It will be difficult to really capitalize on that damage. But I mean, it can be followed up by like a Ravage too. Veil Ravage is a lot of damage. Bounty. Right now, at a 2k gold lead, XP 500 for them. So this game remains close. 2k gold can flip after half of a team fight. A short skirmish and a couple towers could change that. And really, it's towers that's keeping O ahead the way they are. They've claimed all the tier 1s. They've killed the tier 2, having lost just their tier 1s themselves. Of course, they're also ahead in kills, but the net worth of all the cores is incredibly close. PL and the Shadow Fiend are practically even. Viper is even with the Veno almost, and Tidehunter very close to the Beastmaster. Just small advantages for either side for their various cores. Necro 3 bought by Wind, a significant damage increase, and will help them kill things like Roshan, something their draft doesn't do too slow thanks to the PL, and just Beastmaster Aura by himself really helps with that. Oh, they put to sleep Viper. Do they want to try to save Yules, canceling that Fiend Script? Nether Toxin Terrorize, but it doesn't hit anybody. Viper Strike goes on to Tidehunter. And it looks like a disengage from both sides. A good attempt and a nice Yules from Fire to save his teammate. The Viper would have surely died if he had been stuck there much longer. They go now to Shrine together and get healed so they can stay on the map. Do they have a smoke? They do. I imagine they clear this Ancient and then they smoke up some heroes. Or perhaps not. Oh, they're grouping up. So 4 from O. Smoked. Will they find these heroes? Do they have the proper vision? They're drawing lines. They want to go deep into the enemy jungle. They're not even after those heroes bot. They want to get this guy in the jungle. They want to find Frogger, that Shadow Fiend, the top net worth. He's in the trees. Their smoke broke. They know he's close. Frogger pinging it out, and an immediate TP from the other Titan. Still some heroes smoked, but BDC is revealed. Fire smoke will soon just end. Scouts out Wind. And the smoke does not amount to anything. Good job dodging that smoke from Spicy Thieves, though O going for a pretty bold objective. They didn't have vision there. Oh, but they do have vision of this Tide Hunter. Bedlam, Mech, he has Ravage, but don't want to commit it for just this. The PL Illusion Army is basically 0 to him, but the Shadow Realm, that's some damage, and a Spirit Lance to end his life. Oh, still finding good kills here and there. BDC sits at the top of the net worth, but just barely ahead of Frogger. 500 gold ahead of Frogger, really 400, and it's likely to change incredibly quickly because of how fast that hero farms. The Dark Willow has found most of what she needs in this game to be really effective as a support. She's got her Yules, and she has max Shadow Realm and max Bramble Maze. With Sparkles picking up a tome. Does he use it on himself? He does. Got to get that talent when it get... I like 60 damage better for Rubik. That's just so much damage, but 200 health, not a terrible choice either if you just want to survive in fights, especially against a hero like Veno or like Tide. There's just so much AoE that you really need to protect yourself from it in some capacity, and if you're not getting items, then talents is how you might be able to do that. Echo Stomp, missing fire. Brain Stab sold by Rubik, so good burst combo. DD picked up by Zucifer. Most heroes are congregating near the mid lane. Every team has all of their ults except for the Spell Steal, which, I mean, that doesn't really... It's not a big, not like it can be a huge spell, but it's not that bad to engage with that Spell Steal up. Could control find a Ravage, and now they must consider the mech. If Blink Dagger picked up on him, it's very huge. There's like a lot of potential there. Huge changes. And LDK grabbing a Pipe of Insight to protect his teammates from the magic damage of the Viper, the Dark Willow. But the PL, the Beastmaster, largely physical focused. Venom Wards being spat around. They're going to use the Astral Spirit. The really big thing that Spicy Thieves have going for them is there's so much vision. They can throw down Venom Wards, they can use the Astral Spirit. There's just a lot of ways that they can get information safely from a distance. But is a fight brewing here in mid? Do OOOOO dare fight under a tier 2 tower, or will they disengage? Cybonic has Fiend's Grip if he catches him with that, but he's not used it yet. Echo Stomp puts 2 to sleep in mid. Shadow Realm, now they get the Nightmare onto the Beastmaster. Viper Strike goes into LDK off to the side. But that seems to be it. A very tense situation, a Cold War, teams just throwing small things at each other here and there. Echo Stomp, Aurora committed, Ravage catches 2 in the mid lane. They already lost Cybonic off to the side. Terrorize, hitting 4 once again. And they may be able to disengage off the back of that, a 1-for-1 trade, but Viper for Bane, and Spicy Thieves should be happy with that, and they may even continue pursuit. Rubik, yeah, they don't want to fight when they have all that damage over time. Bramble Maze, Axes, the slow, and a good sleep. And this looks like it will be the end of Win. Double raise from Frogger brings him down. A fight won by Spicy Thieves, very patiently too. They're going after Roche. I don't know how fast they really get Roche. If they get spotted, it should be contestable. There's no Ravage, there's no Veno ult, but they're killing it respectively quickly. That Veil amplifying that magic damage. Shadow Fiend Aura also helps out a lot. It's at 50%. They noticed PL up top, but does he know what's going on? And now with the Bramble Maze, they'll know. They recognize something is happening. Shadow Realm channeled. They're putting Curse Crown onto the Shadow Fiend. However, they get the Fiend's Grip onto Phantom Lancer. BDC needs to live. He mantas, juxtaposes, dodges the Echo Stomp. They're still after Roche, but it's so healthy. I don't think LDK can get it. Bedlam, Frogger, they get that pipe, saving him some damage, but he gets to go down to it eventually. In the Shadow Realm dodge, juked by the Yules, while Control kills BDC. So both teams have lost a very valuable core in this fight. Are they able to continue fighting? Curse Crown put onto LDK, channeling the Shadow Realm. Viper Strike pulling him back into that Bramble Maze. It looks like BDC good mech, but I don't think it's enough. There's too much damage over the time. He does dive at Sparkles, may lose his life in return. Roar onto the Tidehunter, broken by the Kraken Shell. TP out from Life Grade, and he's just so slow. Shadow Realm, he's broken too. A Nightmare onto the Viper, but it's just not enough. And now they set up with the Yule. She has Terrorized Bedlam, and a double kill for Fire. This Dark Willow is... She's been a part of 15 of her team's 16 kills. And now Roshan on the agenda. Super low HP. They've basically given it away. They spent too long trying to kill it and just were unable to close the deal, which means an Aegis has been placed onto Zucifer. Overall, a very good fight for O. They lose PL and Rubik, but they kill 4 heroes. 2 cores, Shadow Fiend and Viper, LDK and Frog are both very, very high on the net worth chart, and just a huge amount of XP going to those surviving heroes that will be, you know, helping them get their talents sooner, get their next ranks in their ultimates, especially for heroes like Dark Willow and Beastmaster, where that's really valuable. And the PL even wants to get that level 20 as quickly as he can, or 25 I should say, so he can get that crit strike. That crit strike on that hero makes him incredibly strong late game. The crit is, it's very impressive.
Bounty.
But not just to clear the wave up. Corrosive Stin stats. I don't necessarily interpret that all the way, but my idea with that is it just gets like 6 more attack slows, 6 more magic resist, 6 more damage per second. So not bad. The magic resist is probably the reason you really get it. The damage over time isn't horrible. And this game, the magic resist is going to be really, really nice. Although I do like the attack range, and I feel like getting a hood plus that isn't really, it's kind of like redundant, but he is going to have a pipe soon, so both teams building that pipe to mitigate all like the huge amounts of magic damage. But at the moment, O with a 5k gold lead, and a lot of that comes from the fact that they kill towers so quickly with their heroes. Beastmaster, Aura, PL Illusion armies, really just those two, but the Beastmaster Aura amplifying the pushing power of everyone on the team. And oh, there's a Hawk. Does Frogger see that Hawk? They blink. Curse Crown from the Willow. He needs to get for as far away as he can, but it looks like they are going to catch up. And oh, he's rooted now. There is a Roar. They catch it on him. Can his team follow up? Bedlam. They won't save him. He's lifted, and Fire dominating on this Dark Willow. That blink dagger to the Cursed Crown, and instantly he knows he's in trouble. And without an item like a Yule's or a Manta to break that, to get rid of that, it's practically a free kill. They do have Ravage, so they may be able to contest, even though it is 4v5 control. Echo Stomp from Live Grade. It doesn't hit any heroes, but he gets a ton of Astral Spirit damage brought back to him. And this mid tier 2, the last tier 2 that Spicy Thieves has, it will fall. And 7k gold. Oh, good Echo Stomp. On to 2. 3 heroes. Blink. Yules. She has Bramble Maze, drops it, Axes, Cursed Crown. They're doing a ton of damage, forcing out that Ravage from, I think he Panic Ravage. They can't follow up, and the Cursed Crown stuns too. Are they going to get more? The Earth Splitter, no. Oh no! Sparkle stole Ravage. I don't think they know. I'm not sure they're aware. They didn't ping it out. They put them to sleep. But if that Ravage comes in, they haven't used any other ults. They have Terrorize, they have Ravage. They have Bedlam, and soon they will have the Roar. This fight, this high ground defense could be nigh impossible if Sparkles lives long enough to get that Ravage off. Echo Stomp puts 2 more to sleep. BDC continuing to dodge with his Doppelganger. Raise. Zucifer is in deep, but has an Aegis, so I don't think he's really that scared. Gush, they push him down to the low ground. They're pinging it out. Curse Crown onto a creep, though. Not the target they want. Control forced back by the Spirit Lance, and his Ravage on cooldown for over a minute. Will O be able to use that Ravage from Sparkles? That could be, it's a potentially game-ending play. But if Spicy Thieves can lock him down, can kill him before he can get that Ravage off, they have strong high ground defense. They have a lot of AoE spells and a lot of damage on their team. Trying to find a big Echo Stomp. Winding it up, puts 4 heroes to sleep. Dark Willow with the Bramble Maze that zones them away. Even with such an excellent sleep, the Elder Titan, they can't maximize it. Their Ravage is on cooldown for another minute. And they really don't want to commit to, like, it's hard for either side to commit. The wave clear is really, really good from O, so just sitting there is kind of wasteful for them. And they are going to back off now. Like, they would need to get vision on the high ground, and then just blink in with, like, get in with the Rubik Ravage. Otherwise, really hard to break that high ground. A single target stun, usually not good enough to do that. They have Aegis, but it's on the Viper, who, again, not really like a great high ground sieging hero. But they still boast 8k gold. PL starting to pull ahead of that Shadow Fiend and XP. also very much in their favor. A little less than 7,500. Aegis has been reclaimed. They've lost that advantage, so the next fight not quite as scary, but Rubik has that for, I wish I could see how long that was. It's a little less than half. Still a couple minutes probably for, not a little less than 2 minutes for the Rubik Ravage. I need to play incredibly carefully. Guardian Greaves bought by Tidehunter. His Ravage also back. We'll see if both teams throw one out if they choose to fight in that next minute and a half while they still have the Ravage on Rubik. I would like to see them do that to try to capitalize on that, but at the moment, the way Spicy Thieves are playing so defensively, it's incredibly hard to capitalize, incredibly hard to find those engagements, especially because your Rubik doesn't have a blink, your PL, not really a blink building hero. Like, their only initiation is Dark Willow Jump. And, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a great initiation. Blink, Cursed Crown, Bramble Maze, Yule, even Blink Yules can set up to isolate a hero for just a couple seconds and engage around that hero. And then set up for stuns on the hero when they land. So Spicy Thieves unlikely to have to deal with that Rubik Ravage. Sentry Ward. I don't think she realizes that they see her. Spicy Thieves with a very hard to break high ground. I mean, the Echo Stomp, the Veno wards, that's plenty in its own. Rubik hitting level 15. Snags his cast range talent. Dark Willow with movement speed. Interesting. I usually see GPM, but perhaps, I mean, she's 6'1" and 10 on this Dark Willow. She probably feels comfortable enough to get the movement speed, which will help her initiate for her team, and that's something that they kind of rely on her to do at the moment. There's a Blink Dagger on the Beastmaster, though, so, I mean, he can too. He can, you know, fulfill that need. A smoke from Spicy Thieves. Do they have vision? It looks like they should find wind. Oh, he doesn't know it's coming. They see him. He blinks away. Are they going to be able to keep up? However, PL, Veno wards, slowing him down. He got gushed. He has Doppelganger starting to TP. Do they get the Ravage? And he TP's home. Is it enough damage? He's in the fountain. And BDC escapes their clutches. They didn't want to commit the Ravage for just the one hero, and I don't blame them. Elder Titan not in range to get that Echo Stomp, and no, they recognize a Siege in mid. Rubik, no more Ravage. They force all those rotations back. Ravage onto 2. Viper able to push himself away. Are they going to capitalize? Glimmer Cape from Fire. Do they have detection? Rubik tossing him back, stunning 2. And it looks like I don't think they can keep up. I don't think they can get anything off of this. Cybonic too slow. Nothing like a Force Staff to get him close. And Rubik gallops away, terrorized, just in case they hear the windup and they bail. But Rubik, he's the one they catch. It's really not the hero they want, but in this, when you're 10k gold behind, you take what you can get. A decent pick for Spicy Thieves, but it was a Ravage commitment. However, the Terrorize also was used. Then again, Terrorize cooldown much shorter. By the time an actual fight breaks out, I suspect both teams will have those ults up. Like, I don't think they'll fight when Terrorize is up right away, and it'll probably give the 20 or so seconds that the Tide needs to get his Ravage back online. BDC picking up Lincolns, so wants to get some defense. He's, I think, and rightfully so, I think he's most afraid of the Fiend's Grip, which really the only spells that break that are Bane spells. It's Nightmare, it's Brain Sap, it's Enfeeble, it's Fiend's Grip. But if he breaks it with Nightmare, then he can just Fiend's Grip him right away, or Enfeeble even better, because then you can, you know, Brain Sap him too. This Phantom Lancer very rich though, 10k or 2k gold ahead of the Shadow Fiend, and otherwise all the cores relatively even, with Shadow Fiend pulling a bit ahead of the people who are below him, about 2k or so, 1.4k. Roshan back up, back alive, although it was pinged, so perhaps the Dire go for it again. They kill it way faster than the Radiant. Then again, Ravage in 40 seconds, so if they want to get Roshan, they should do it now. The Rubik did just scout it. BKB from LDK will be able to survive that magical onslaught. From the big issue is it feels like they're itemizing against this Dark Willow, and BDC is having a great game right now. But that could change in a moment's notice. They're walking towards the Roche Pit. They're smoked up. Sparkles isn't positioned to break their smoke. Echo Stomp could set up for a big Ravage, but it's on cooldown for 5 more seconds. trying to Requiem. He's channeling up. All four of these heroes are stuck. The Earth Splitter, the Yules, the Poison Nova. They have Ravage back up in just a second. It's up now. He blinks forward. Hits all five. The Earth Splitter was stolen, but it's too late. They've already lost the Beastmaster. Do they have the damage? These heroes are getting so low. They're trying to escape. The Bramble Maze terrorized. Blinks forward. Fearing up 2, 3 heroes. And in spite of all this commitment from both sides, is it just a 1-for-1 trade? Is that all that happens? And Roshan, who got that Aegis? It's still on the ground. Frogger picks it up. The Dire forced away. I mean, they get 2 supports, but they lose that Aegis, unable to get back into the pit. And they committed so much for that. And really, that's the primary objective. You don't kill that many heroes, but you get that Aegis. You get that grand prize. And the cheese, too. Great play from Spicy Thieves. What a ridiculous team fight. So much was going on. And just the Dire, I feel like Sparkle's misplaying very badly there. If he were positioned on the low ground here to break their smoke, the ward that they had here would have spotted Spicy Thieves, and his teammates could have reacted appropriately, could have left the pit, but instead they get slept. Do not get me wrong. It could have been much, much worse for O. That I'm actually amazed they only lost the 1 hero and the Aegis. Like, that's crazy. An incredible fight and favoring Spicy Thieves, but they're still 10k gold behind, though an Aegis on Frogger helps alleviate a bit of that pressure, kind of helps them get a little more of an advantage, something that they really needed in the next fight whenever it does happen. BDC at level 20, extra Phantom Rush range. Wants to be able to engage. It's really I think the Spicy Thieves have a ton of engage on their team. They have Echo Stomp, they have Ravage, like Blink Ravage. On O, it's pretty much Willow and Blink Roar from the Beastmaster. Rubik, if he gets a blink, he can like Blink Lift. He currently has Nightmare. Pinging out Zucifer, and then they ping out a Hawk. So Spicy Thieves suspicious of the movements of O, are pushing in towards bot. The issue for O right now is they have nothing to gain unless they can break high ground. Spicy Thieves can draw out the game a little longer. They can just defend, play safe, because eventually it's likely that they catch up in some capacity. But O, they want to get it. They want to get at least a tier 3. If they can break a tier 3 tower, they can get shrines, free gold for themselves. Right now, they're doing a good job constricting O, stealing all of, or sorry, O are doing a good job constricting Spicy Thieves, where they're able to just farm up their jungle, kill all the waves, keep the map pushed in, which also provides them a valuable vision advantage. Because if creeps are pushing in onto the other side of the map, you have vision of the other side of the map. If you see, like, oh, their tier 3 is getting hit by a creep wave, they're up to something. Oh, Ravage! Onto 4 heroes! Can they capitalize? A great Epic Stomp as well, setting up the Requiem flies forward, the Poison Nova Roar onto the Shadow Fiend, the Earth Splitter as well. So much damage, Fiend's Grip catches DPC, he's too low, terrorized, but it's too much! The 2 BKBs block it, but only the fear going onto the Tide Hunter. Bramble Maze and trying to TP, but he gets Nightmared up. Glimmered, hiding, they don't have detection. Gush gets Viper trying to run, but he's too slow. Poison forces himself to the low ground. Curse Crown just catches 1, and a nice 4-step from his teammate getting him forward, but Control blinking on pursuit. Another Toxin to Poison attack slow. The Echo Stomp putting him back to sleep, and now Fire herself could be in trouble. And another 4-step trying to save Zucifer. A valiant effort, but it's just not enough. And Spicy Thieves crushing them in this fight. Control with a spectacular Ravage. Will they get more? Sparkle's taking a lot of damage, forcing a buyback from that Viper, and a double raise kills off 1. A massive gold swing. That 10k gold lead evaporating into thin air, losing 7k. Oh, Spicy Thieves biding their time, being patient, and making a massive play, resulting in a gigantic gold swing. Over 5k, 6k gold just about, and 9,000 experience. Oh, underestimating the strength of that Ravage and immediately punished for it. An amazing play that could very likely result into a tier 3. Can they? I don't know that they can stop this. They have respectable high ground defense, but now less than 1k for them. It looks like they did save their high ground, but they did not save their gold lead. Look at that. Hasn't quite updated yet because I'm pretty sure both these are dead even. 1k gold 4-0 after holding onto a 10k gold lead for so much of this game. It just all slips away in an instant. Will they be able to rebound, recover in any way, shape, or form? I'm not sure. The team fighting power of Spicy Thieves, it's immense. You have Ravage, you have Requiem, you have Poison Nova, but it's there for O. It's just this Dark Willow. The Terrorize is their primary control method in those team fights, and if she misses it, then they are instantly at a disadvantage. She needs to fear away heroes like the Tidehunter before he gets that Ravage off, or fear away large groups of heroes, but we saw that BKB from the Shadow Fiend, from LDK, stopping them from being forced off by the Dark Willow. Will BKB be the options for the Dire too? Will O go for BKBs on their heroes? Like the Phantom Lancer. Oh, they smoked right under a ward. Not what they want. Instantly, Spicy Thieves backing. They're all TPing away. Spotting that smoke. And they're just gone. Will sit in their base to avoid getting any of their heroes caught till that smoke wears, till enemies show. Butterfly by Frogger. And Shiva's completed on the Tidehunter. More AoE damage, more AoE control, and just survivability and raw right-click damage from Frogger. And there's no MKBs. The PL not going for one. They do have Break, but that doesn't do anything against items. They need a Mute. Perhaps could get a I think Nullifier is not a bad item on Viper or PL. But Spicy Thieves bringing the game back, forcing it to just about dead even themselves, now smoked up.
Yeah, coin.
Do they have vision somewhere? Invis rune on this Beastmaster. He could break this smoke, but he's moving away. Wind. The enemy hero is moving to their side of the jungle. They might scan Zucifer. They've pinged him out. Oh, Brew throws the roar out, but gets caught himself. He's put to sleep. The Terrorize hitting just one. The Shadow Fiend. Will they be able to disengage on this? But it looks like they will. They should lose the Beastmaster. He's slowed. Shiva's sneezed on. And yeah, I imagine he said they get the Glimmer and another Force. They're forcing everyone in. He's looking for Ravage. He has Blink. He might use it, but no, it's just Sparkles. He doesn't want to commit it just for the Rubik. And although they lose Sparkles, they don't lose any bigger cores. And all the while, they lose a tier 3 tower. Oh, finally getting something. Fortification popped after that tier 3 dies. And oh, grabbing a 5k gold lead. That smoke, not what Spicy Thieves were hoping for. A good Earth Splitter. You can see taking a lot of that damage. Then again, he's probably fine. We'll just walk away all cool like nothing happened. This game's still incredibly even, but the Phantom Lancer getting that tier 3 means his team can kill shrines. Another gold lead. Well, like a bit of free gold for them, and Cybonic pops one, and then Doppelganger away, Manta style. He gets Beast Grip though. Ravage committed for him as well. He's going to die here, but it was heavy commitment. Roshan up in 40 seconds, which means he won't be up for another 30 or so. Once it is back alive, are they going to be able to defend that Rosh? It was a huge 1,600 gold just for the one hero, as he was at the top of the net worth. But they did use Ravage, they used Fiend's Grip. And even when PL respawns, it won't be back yet. Like, the Ravage won't be online until a little while after the PL respawns. They see control. No, be careful. Blink forward, Shiva's Guard, killing the Necro Creeps and the Beastmaster Creep army.
Dire's top tower isn't well at the moment.
Top tier 2. Second to last tier 2 left on the map. And more gold for Spicy Thieves to claim brings them a little bit closer. In fact, brings them ahead, but just barely. For the first time in this game, I believe. XP also now favoring Spicy Thieves. Curse Crown. Lift. Lotus Orb purges off the Curse Crown. He evades the Lotus. He's looking for diving in deep. Sparkle's getting low. Terrorize hits both heroes. The Root keeps tight in place for a time, and now he's just running off. Echo Stomp. It doesn't put anyone to sleep, though. They still have a tier 3, and it looks like everyone's just trying to TP out. Curse Crown put onto control, but it's purged off by his Kraken Shell. And they force him down to the low ground. Excellent force step usage from both teams in this game. Dark Willow Illusion not in the pit, so I don't think they know that Roshan is alive, and that's the Refresher Shard. Whatever, either team getting that Refresher Shard on, like, O getting it on Dark Willow and Spicy Thieves getting it on the Tidehunter, of course, it's very, very significant. a double Terrorize and even a double Bedlam to back that Terrorize up. A double Ravage, obviously, is just like a game-changing element. BDC picks up a Eye of Scotty. Looks like there's a brief pause. And since he's going to use the bathroom, I will also. So I will be right back. We still have a pause. Hopefully that Tide Hunter reconnects soon. The game now in Spicy Thieves Court. Oh, have lost a significant advantage. Their 10k gold lead completely disappearing. XP lead also now favoring Spicy Thieves. And the team fight power of Spicy Thieves, the control that they have with Echo Stomp, with Ravage, and everything Bane does, it's difficult. Like, team fights are hard. He may have wanted, PL may have wanted to get a BKB that versus the Lincolns, as the BKB would allow him to continue fighting even through the Ravage, and we saw just how good the BKBs were for Spicy Thieves, for this Shadow Fiend, for the Venomancer, able to protect them from the Terrorize, able to allow them to continue fighting through the CC that the Dark Willow brings to the table. Speaking of Dark Willow, she might wander into an uncomfortable location. Does Sparkles know Roshan is up? Does either team know Roche is up? I'm not sure it's been scouted yet. Wind, Invis, Pings coming out. They get the Yules, the Bramble Maze. Careful. The Lift Lotus. Oh no, Sparkles needs to get out of here. He's already getting so low. And the Cursed Crown Lotus too. Setting up for end the sleep. But he's Invis, so they don't know that he's there. Viper Strike put onto Cybonic. He's taking a lot of damage over time, and I imagine they leave him to die. Shadow Realm. And BDC finds LDK at bot. A much more significant engagement occurring there. 2 for 0. Oh, winning that, I'm not sure you could call it a fight, as both teams were just like permanently stunned thanks to that Lotus Orb. Roche is alive, but BDC getting that kill with his double damage rune onto LDK. He's gonna get some gold for his team from this shrine on top of that. And they may look to Roshan, and they're already starting to hit it. They've got the Beastmaster army, the Necro 3s, pinging it out. They know that they want to control, seize it. Shadow Realm, Phantom Lancer's not there. Do they have the vision? Will they be able to stop this? And if they do rotate to it, will O be able to respond appropriately? It doesn't look like they're going to get there in time. BDC picking up the Aegis, Refresher Shard sitting on the ground, and they give it to Wind. They want that double roar, the double 5, that's like 8 seconds of hard CC onto one hero. Putting that onto Shadow Fiend is crippling to their team fight, to their team damage output. The question is now, do they try to high ground? They can get those free, they can get the shrine, more free gold, and oh, even after throwing away that 10k gold lead, they've accumulated 5k back in their favor. XP also starting to dip down closer to 5k for them. So they're back in charge, but it's still anybody's game. Frogger at the top, sitting on top of net worth, but still, so this whole game, PL and Shadow Fiend have been incredibly even with each other. Venomancer has 5k gold too. I wonder what he wants to buy with it. He's sitting at the secret shop, weighing his options.
This is our moment, Jax.
Viper has had his axe for some time. I wonder if he's going to go more right-click items or what his plan is. Things at top, but the Dire a little bit spread. Dark Willow collecting bounty runes for herself. She's hit her level 20 as an ultimate orb. Wants to get a Scythe of Vice and got some Shadow Realm damage. And that is disgusting poke. The max Shadow Realm damage, that hurts. That's like 50% of your support's HP. Or like a third of it. It's just so much damage. Rubik, bedtime. It's gonna be so difficult for them to break high ground. They have to go into high ground against Ravage, against Poison Nova, against Veno wards. There's so much that could go wrong. They need a really excellent initiation. I think the best bet is you terrorize this Tidehunter back. You just throw him back away and then try to engage on the rest of his team. Or even just Curse Crown him. If you don't hit Tide, his Kraken Shell does not break debuffs. Although, speaking of Kraken Shell and Tide, he is not going to take any damage from PL Illusions. A wall of wards. Nightmare. Or Viper. They have Echo Stomp. It puts him to sleep. They want to try to go on. They throw down a Bramble Maze to discourage any sort of engagement. Lucifer, he's up deep. He's taking a lot of right-click damage. He is the cheese. Pukes his Viper Strike onto Frogger. Curse Crown onto LDK. They Lotus it away. They need to be cautious about the blink from the Tide. And Echo Stomp puts one to sleep. Just the Rubik. They see Tidehunter. They see him with those PL Illusions. Shadow Realm channeled. She's going to try to throw that. It hits the Shadow Fiend. Roar onto the Shadow Fiend. Refreshed. They have Ravage. They need to be careful. Ravage hits one. The Fear on 3, though. That's a really huge Fear. He's not going to be able to get back into this fight. The Roar again onto the live grade now. He's getting chunked by this Beastmaster damage. They're away from their racks, an immediate buyback, and he has a Refresher Orb. He has another Ravage. They don't know this other Ravage is here. He's Shivas. He's trying to get it. He gets it on the 5 heroes. Requiem, Poison Nova, hitting everybody. They're taking the Aegis onto the Phantom Lancer, and the Earth Splitter kills off the Dark Willow. One more right-click. Sparkle's getting low. He's going to go to Frogger. Double kill for him. And in so deep, the Fiend's Grip onto BDC. BDC! Triple kill for Frogger. And a spectacular defense and buying that Refresher, and then getting back into the fight. Really nicely done. I don't think were expecting it at all. They got completely caught off guard by that refreshed Ravage. And it allows Spicy Thieves to get 3 kills for their Shadow Fiend. It did force 2 buybacks, so not as big of a gold swing as it could have been, but still a 2.4k gold swing. And getting that killing Phantom Lancer even through his Aegis, and the big issue for him there was that he died like way back here. His team gets fought up here, so he's just like, his team dies while he's respawning from the Aegis. They may be forced to buy back for O as well. The siege, the high ground siege, it's coming. They got Lucifer out alive, but it's just Lucifer. It's just Viper and Beastmaster. An immediate buyback from the Phantom Lancer prompts a quick disengage, and Young Lean taking Frogger, I keep reading his tag. Frogger taking so much damage from that Viper Strike. But he's got his 3 damage per soul. He hits like a truck on steroids. Did he get 25? They don't have 25 on the Veno yet. The 3 times damage on Plague Ward. The Poison Nova duration is just disgusting. The amount of damage that is 80 per second times 23. Oh my god. That's just huge damage. And then you've got Veil on it, you've got Venom Scale, and he picked up an Ags now, so it's actually 110 damage. Oof. Every second for 23 seconds, that's like 2330. That's so, that kills Rubik almost. It basically kills Dark Willow. It's a massive portion of damage, and BKB did eventually get bought by BDC, so we'll be able to resist that damage. He's still going to be affected by the debuff, but also won't be getting ravaged anymore. Can still be Fiend's Grip. The difference now is the only way they can break Linken's through BKB is Fiend's Grip, and this is a 10-second BKB. He's 25 on the PL, so the crit is a gigantic increase to his damage output. Spicy Thieves smoked up. They want to try to find this PL, but none of what's down there is real. I wonder if they think it is. Their smoke didn't break, so it appears they are wise to it's just being illusions. Radiant scanning. They're deep in the enemy jungle. Their smoke just pops. They will be spotted by some wards, and they TP back home. Abandoning this gank. They don't have vision in here, so going any further, incredibly risky. They do have vision of the Beastmaster right there. They may have been able to find something if they got to that point, but unlikely. They were already so far down into it, like so far down to the bottom side of the map. Wid has had his Assault Cuirass and Heaven's Halberd for some time. Great tools against the Shadow Fiend. Veno, LDK, just 99% magic damage. I suspect Viper will get Nether Toxin Silence at level cap. Maybe the 120 damage if they feel like they need more right click. Their damage isn't terribly lacking, but it's mostly magic at the moment, besides BDC. And oh boy, BDC has fallen way behind Frogger on net worth. Frogger, MKB sitting in his backpack, Hyperstone, Moonshard queued up. He's likely to get rid of the S and Y at some point for a bigger item. Maybe like a Satanic or something. But his buyback cost also 2,600, so can't buy out anything just yet. Eats the cheese. Eats a Moonshard. A very filling meal. He has just enough surplus. So the Shadow Fiend at 32k net worth. 5k ahead of the Phantom Lancer. And they forced that PL buyback. So if he dies again, especially if he dies close to his base, very, very unlikely they defend high ground. Assuming they don't, if it's not like, okay, we killed all but one hero and PL died and there's 2 of us left or something, you know, like it's not a huge bit of damage to both sides. I think they may have seen that smoke with that Hawk. However, Beastmaster, he's running back home. He will be spotted by this ward if he moves a little bit closer. They're trying to wrap around. I think they know that he's there. They may find Dark Willow instead. Fire. Wind. Need to be super careful. They have Gush. There is a Terrorize, possibly wind up, but it seems too late. Wind's already dead. They only fear the tide. And now they don't have Terrorize for the next engagement. Not for another minute. Fortunately, Roshan not up for 90 seconds. And a Scythe of Vice purchased by the Dark Willow.
Mine.
So even more control around this map for... Oh, all of their CC is the Dark Willow except like the Beastmaster Roar. So if they kill Dark Willow before she's able to just, you know, fear or Cursed Crown or anything like that, and Spicy Thieves have reacted very, very effectively to the Dark Willow's Cursed Crown and the Dark Willow CC with the Lotus Orb. But if they can kill Fire, there's basically zero control beyond slows for O. And I mean, you have Rubicliff too, but Roshan up in 48 seconds. So Beastmaster dead for another 48, and he'll be responding just seconds after Rosh comes up. And they should be able to contest because Dire O still have shrines, but they don't have a gold lead anymore. That's to be sure. Only 1k for that, and XP. Similar situation, but it's actually 5k for O. Their supports and their Viper now at level 25. He got 120. He did get the 120 damage, so wants to be able to right click a little bit better. And once he gets a Bloodthorn plus the Bloodthorn crit plus the 120 damage talent, he hits pretty hard. I don't think you can right click against Shadow Fiend, who has a BKB, BKB, a Butterfly, 3 extra damage per soul, giving him 180 bonus damage. Massive amounts of damage on the Shadow Friend. PL Illusions see Roche alive. So does this, and this ward sees Spicy Thieves. BTC beginning to catch up net worth, but that's mostly because Shadow Fiend is completely decked out, fully 6-slotted. He sold his SNY to buy a Lincoln's, but he doesn't have buyback. He may not need it though. He's just stacked. That Shadow Fiend is just gigantic. And so many of these heroes are so even, but just barely ahead on net worth. I mean, 6k at 58 minutes is not a significant lead. It's an item on a support at that point, and really it's items on the Dark Willow. She is just massive. And speaking of massive, that was a ton of damage from that Shadow Realm. does leave Bramble Maze on cooldown for a short time. Invisible Tidehunter with that refresher means double Ravage. The next fight for O will be incredibly difficult unless they're able to pin down control and unless they're able to stop him from getting that double Ravage. Otherwise, I'm just not sure how they win a fight against double Ravage. They only have BKB on the Phantom Lancer, and Viper, he's going for more damage. He wants to get a Bloodthorn. Viper Strike, Nightmare, Lift, Ravage, 1. Oh, it cancels the Terrorize. He has the second Ravage, he refreshes, he gets it. 3 heroes, 4 heroes, 5 heroes, and they've already lost 2, Dark Willow and Rubik to do with buybacks. And not only that, they've lost the Viper. Wind getting so low, I don't think he survives this either. They may be forced to buy back on everyone. DPC survives, but it's a double kill for Frogger. They're turning to Roche. And it looks like actually, no, they want to get BDC. And O, they've already lost 1 buyback. It's just a huge, catastrophic failure for O, and a massive victory for Spicy Thieves, over 5k gold in their favor. And the only way they can contest this Roshan is if they buy back on heroes. Beastmaster, Dark Willow, they have it on Rubik. They've used it on everyone. And instantly, Spicy Thieves retreat from the Roche pit. This is the time, though. O could actually look to go for a game-winning play to get that Roshan, get Refresher Shard, get the Aegis, and then push up high ground because they know there's no double Ravage. There's not even a single Ravage for a minute. It is possible, knowing that without the double Ravage for 130 seconds, for a minute and a half, I don't know why it's not 130 seconds, that they could attempt to get high ground while there's still just a single Ravage. They kill Roche very, very quickly, and even though they did force all those buybacks, which nets a net worth lead of about 4k, 2k actually after that Roche dies for Spicy Thieves, and XP also evening out, it could be possible for them to go for this. And oh my god, that Viper's attack speed with the Beastmaster aura, oh my god, the attack speed is just insane. So if they engage, if they don't get engaged on, if they force suboptimal Ravages, if they force him to use it, because like earlier we saw him use up on the high ground because he got engaged on, because he got hit by several spells and kind of panicked. If they can force those kinds of Ravages out, then perhaps they can win a fight with all, like, they have massive damage if they can actually right-click people. I mean, look at this guy. He's a machine gun with that Beastmaster nearby. But 0 buybacks means the next, if they get team wiped again, or even just lose 3 heroes again and don't get a whole lot of heroes in return, they've lost the game. And the double Ravage will be up in 14 seconds, so their window quickly closing. It doesn't appear they're going to even bother sieging a high ground. They can't get through those Venom wards fast enough. He did get the triple damage and HP, so 1350 HP on these Venom wards and 120 damage. The game just gets harder for O. I'm not sure they can actually take a fight. The last few have gone horribly for them. Individual pickoffs, they have a lot of power in with the Viper Strike, the Roar, but it just may not be enough. Team fights, which is really all that's left in the game. Spicy Thieves have nothing else to lose outside of their own base. It's all that's left, and unless Spicy Thieves make misplays, like pushing out on heroes without any vision and getting picked off, it's going to be so hard for O to actually win a fight. There's buyback on just the Phantom Lancer, and that won't be enough, while Spicy Thieves maintain it on 3 heroes, all 3 of their cores, off lane, mid, and safe lane.
That should help.
Dark Willow, she appear a fire, wanting to grab some Boots of Travel. And we're just stuck at a stalemate 62 minutes into this game. Bloodthorn purchased. Nullifier purchased. Everyone is basically 6 slotted. You've got like 38k net worth on Frogger, but most of that's in his backpack. Like anything above 32 is mostly in his backpack. Nightmare. Dark Willow's asleep. They get the Rod of Atos. Are they going to put her to sleep with the Echo Stomp? Does not seem so. They don't want to commit. They want to know where these other heroes are before they make a commitment. If they go in without knowing, then it could be game over. There's an Aegis on this Viper. And a Bloodthorn too, so a lot of damage. I think Lucifer needs to lead the charge since he has the Aegis. Try to force a Roshan onto him. Or sorry, a Ravage onto him. Starts with an R, since he does have Roche's Aegis. BDC's Nullifier is in his backpack, actually. I wonder if he plans to BKB and then swap the Nullifier back in. He can still eat a Moonshard, and I would rather seen that before going for a Nullifier. if you're just gonna have the nullifier in your backpack. Rod of Atos once again, but nothing to come of it. The tension in this game incredibly high. The only real hope that O have of claiming any kind of a Rax is if they siege slowly with PL illusions, but they may not be trying to do that. There's a lot of good illusion clear too. Soon Tidehunter will have a Radiance, which makes that even easier. And yeah, they just rush those illusions to slowly chip, very slowly chip the ranged Rags. They set Beastmaster up all in to keep the waves in. Lincoln's was broken. Cursed Crown. 2-3, beginning to get low. A slow game. The game is just, both teams recognize that one mistake could be the end of things. Oh, you gotta be careful going up high ground, BDC. Those raises chunking him. Buyback statuses. Still 3 minutes for most of O to get it back. Will they be able to, though? That's the question. If O wait out 3 minutes, then they can go get more aggressive with their team fights. But before that, it's so very risky. If you lose one more fight without buybacks on all your heroes, you've just lost the game at this stage. They can kill towers incredibly quickly. They push very, very fast. But at the moment, there's very little gold to be gained from either side. Cursed Crown, purged off by Lotus. PL Illusions have done like 100 damage in the past minute. Aegis reclaimed. Says Yusufer, a mere mortal once again. And oh, will they be able to? I think now O just don't want to go for a fight at all. They have no Aegis. They just avoid fights like the plague. I mean, yeah, you have 2 cheeses, but if you get double Ravage, it's not going to save you. Actually, a rather significant development. Rubik gets the reduced telekinesis cooldown. So 7 seconds, able to just hurl enemies back and forth, which creates a lot more control value for his team. Which right now, again, all that control just comes from Dark Willow, who might die. She Shadow Runs, but she's so low. The Cross Ray, she's put to sleep, it looks like. No, she just stops moving. Is she going to survive? Earth Splitter forward. They put one to sleep. Fiend's Grip, they're committing a lot for that Beastmaster. He's dead for 2 minutes. No buyback. And oh, they can't go for anything. They got that bot tier 1, but you lose Beastmaster with no buyback for 2 minutes. A crippling blow to O. They won't be able to look for anything, won't be able to find any fights. A good effort, and I think he did sort of what he had to do, trying to push that in, trying to get gold for his team. Although I'd like to restate that there's just so much gold on everyone on his team anyway. The PL puts his travels in his backpack because he wants to hold on to that nullifier instead. With Phantom Rush, probably not the most boot-reliant hero. Satanic from Frogger. Radiance for the Tide. And it appears he wants something of his own. What is it? What's he grabbing? Courier has something. Hurricane Pike, maybe? I'm not sure what he's buying. Yeah, Hurricane Pike. So it's like looking at the core net where it's a 2k gold lead and everyone's basically 6 slotted. The biggest growth will be from Vayne and Rubik.
Yeah, coin.
Oh, they've got 50 seconds until their Beastmaster's up. They do have a tier 3 and fortifications. I don't think they can lose the game here unless they really botch their defense or if Spicy Thieves get an excellent double Ravage. Though I wanted to say DPC, Dota Pro Circuit, BDC pushing down bot lane will perhaps force them to do something. Because sure holds a Terrorize, hitting 2 heroes. Echo Stomp not getting anything to sleep. Curse Crown onto Frogger. Shadow Realm, they purge it off with the Lotus Orb. They have 20 seconds until Beastmaster's back. He has buyback, but at this soon, he really doesn't want to use it. Phantom Lancer pushing in bot with his illusions. They're getting TPs. They want to find, if they can get a kill here, they might be able to engage. DPC jumping forward. They get the Hex. They get the shot. They get the silence with the Beast Grip onto the Viper himself. I don't know if they have the damage. He pops BKB and his Satanic Ravage onto 3 heroes. The Gilmer Cape saving Viper for now. On the sidelines, they lose the live grade. And now Cybonic getting low from Zeusfer. Zeusfer getting chunked by Frogger. Frogger just hit so hard as Lincoln's eaten by the Viper Strike. Control taking some damage and a double kill for Frogger though. Do they have anything? Can they get any kind of rebuttal? The Nullifier, they're getting him so low, but he's so damn tanky. The roar onto Frogger. He's getting just destroyed. The damage and a double kill for BDC. Both teams have so much damage, but there's buybacks onto everybody that died on Spicy Thieves, and the buybacks on everybody that that got forced out. It's a hectic fight, but this game, it cannot last much longer. Oh, pushing down the mid. Tense, this game. The Shadow Fiend forced back. And we see after his BKB goes down, he is indeed immortal, very tanky. And God, does he hit hard. But so too does O. That Dark Willow, she blinks in aggressively. They immediately buy back on 2. 1 Ravage available if he uses that refresher. 50 seconds until his next, and they just back off. Buyback status on both teams is greatly reduced. They do have it on Beastmaster for O, Beastmaster, Phantom Lancer, and Rubik. And on Spicy Thieves, just Venomancer. They want to get Roshan, Rubik positioning so that he can break a smoke. They don't even have smoke. He lifts, he throws him back, stunning up a couple heroes. They immediately disengage out of the pit. They break a Lincoln's Curse Crown, does trigger. Stunning 2 people, but I don't think they can get engaged. Bramble Maze, control 15 seconds until his first Ravage, and actually will have a double Ravage in 15 seconds. Cybonic gets healed up by the Guardian Greaves. He's Curse Crowned. He needs to get away from his teammates. They Lotus it away. The Echo Stomp. Shadow Realm damage. Both teams throwing out glancing blows, but nothing really sticks. Rubik, again, Sparkle's learning from his mistake, positioning very far forward. And Echo Stomp onto BDC, puts him to rest. Do Spicy Thieves try to go for it, or do they just forfeit this Roche? They'll go back on Viper. And there's another Refresher Shard on the Beastmaster. He did use that last one recently, so he can't use it right away. Imagine if you could hoard Refresher Shards and just pop all of them over and over again. It'd be bonkers. This game 1 is going on for quite some time. Sorry about that. Got distracted. Now they're trying to shove mate. They have that Aegis. They know Shadow Fiend is just 1 life, but there's 2 Ravages, and many of the heroes on O also just at 1 life. They do have 3 buybacks. I believe is it still 1? The Earth Splitter, the AD2L. They don't engage on it. The slow game continues to slow down a bit more. Zucifer, just a rapid fire cannon with that Assault Cuirass, with the Beastmaster aura. And it just feels like the past like 20 minutes haven't really been able to find a fight that favors them. They haven't been able to be fighting on their terms. It feels like they're fighting backfoot a lot. Even that when they killed the Shadow Fiend, it wasn't like a big it wasn't like a big team fight that they got it off of. It was everything from Spicy Thieves had been expended already, and then they kill him. BDC's Green Lincoln's Hex, Rod of Atos, Viper Strike, Terrorize, Unwound, Ravage hitting on 5 heroes. He has a second one available. No, he's lifted though. The Terrorize hits 2, forcing them all back. Roar onto the Shadow Fiend. He has the second Ravage, but he's out of mana. But he gets it off. He does manage to. He gets his mana back with those Guardian Greaves. It's on 3 heroes, but they're not able to capitalize on this one. The Necro Creeps are going in. The stolen Ravage from Sparkles. Control. He wasn't able to wind it up. Wasn't able to kill anything else after. And now it looks like this game, there's no buyback and there's no Ravage. They get the Poison Nova. The Requiem doesn't do that much damage. BDC getting low. He doesn't have he has buyback, but no Aegis or Roar. Reflected back onto the Beastmaster. Beautiful Earth Splitter. Splitting them in 2. Asleep. Putting him to rest. They have Aegis, but just on Zucifer. Zucifer doing a lot of damage, right-clicking onto LDK, or Bane, Cybonic, getting some damage. Bedlam, she's wreaking havoc, just doing a lot of damage, but it's not enough. Neither team able to get a whole lot out of that fight. Aegis claimed. Frogger's still alive. They have Viper Strike. Is this Lincoln's back up? No, it's not. He's taking a ton of damage. He doesn't have buyback. If he dies, that could be a lot. That could be the loss. They're losing 2, and there's buybacks on everybody. They use it on O, and no buyback on Shadow Fiend, no buyback on Tide. Another Earth Splitter. It flings forward. And it looks like wins buyback. He may die from it, but all of the damage cores from O still alive. Viper, BDC. They didn't even buy back yet. They lost that Aegis though. And Rax will equalize at the very least, and actually looks like they will get ahead on it. They claim that next one. 90 seconds until Shadow Fiend. Can they even hold on without him? Yules and yet another Earth Splitter. And he finds snaps him in half with that Earth Splitter. The Beastmaster, Chris Crown onto 2. They have fortification, but this Rax, I'm not sure that they can defend. It is 4v3, and they're against Phantom Lancer and Viper. The high damage cores. Live Grade walks in. PL immediately jumping. He gets hexed up, and he's going to die. Nullified too, just for good measure. And this is the second lane of Rax that O will take. And I don't think that Spicy Thieves can hang on anymore. They held on for so long against so many gold leads that they just snap back and forth. But the bot Rax being beat down. And Spicy Thieves may finally have run out of gas, finally have been just trained dry by O, who just slowly, who had just a really big lead in the mid game, but were unable to close it out. However, now it appears they've punished all those mistakes from Spicy Thieves and will be able to finally close this game. Cursed Crown, Bramble Maze, Terrorize wound up, it doesn't hit anything. Viper Strike, Megas for O, but Spicy Thieves have yet to tap out. They've got 20 seconds until their Shadow Fiend. They're not calling it until the Ancient is down. There's no fortification. Guardian Greaves keeping his teammates healthy. Who used those Greaves? Rubik, okay. And Rubik's Ravage is back up. He's got there's a Ravage on both sides now. The double Ravage off cooldown though. So 2 Ravages for the one that Rubik has. And backing off with Megas. They're showing a lot less fear. Spice Thieves have great clear though. The Radiance, the Shadow Fiend, the LDK's wards. Oh, look at that. It's Rapier gaming time. They believe they have a chance if they pick up a Rapier, but he's still a fair ways away. He's at least 1,000 gold until that Rapier comes up. Or no, he sold something for it. What did he get rid of? His boots? No, not his boots. I just was looking at that item too. Hurricane Pike sold for a Rapier that drastically limits his mobility options. He has the move speed from Flutter. They need to win that next. And I mean, against Megas, you pretty much need to win every fight that comes your way. And O will realize that there is an Aegis, but that means he won't have buyback even when it's off cooldown in 30 seconds. And Roshan are not up for at least 2 more minutes. Ags from the Beastmaster. I want to say that increases range. And yeah, cooldown a little bit shorter. A DD rune. Picked up. Who's getting it, Zucifer or BDC? They put it on the Phantom Lancer and they smoke. They want to finish things now. With the Megas pushing in, they have good vision, which means they can engage very, very easily and safely on those heroes. They ping out the Shadow Fiend. That's the target they want. He's got that Rapier. If they can steal that, if he dies, it's pretty much over. They get the Hex onto him, but they force him back to safety from his teammates. Going in, Zucifer, Earth Splitter. The right-click damage. Look at him hit hard. The Stolen Ravage. Stunning 5. Terrorized, wound up. It hits the Titan. He's not able to Ravage. No, this race. He got that first Ravage. He has the second one. Wound up. He throws it forward. He stuns him. There's got 2. They've already lost 2. BDC also going to die. They have buyback on all 5 of their heroes. Wind will die, but he doesn't have buyback. And the Willow forced back. They just weren't able to close in on that onto Shadow Fiend. A great Hurricane Pike from his teammate from LDK saves him, pushing him back and deep into his base where he's safe from O's heroes. And the game continues for buyback. They have buyback on almost all of their heroes that died, except for the Beastmaster. And they buy back on Zucifer. That Rapier from Frogger. Could that finish this game? Will it end things? Phantom Lancer also buying back. With a Rapier, all that damage means they could end it, even down Megas. Though they're crippled, they're hamstrung, they're forced to defend. The Megas could win the game if they don't handle them. LDK clears very, very slowly, even with his wards, even with his Moonshard, all that attack speed. And it still seems the game is in O's court. These that Earth Split, 75-second Earth Splitter talent. What? That's 25-second Earth Splitters. Dang, crazy. We're now to 78 minutes. A Meteor Hammer purchased by Bane. He has great setup tools to do it with the Nightmare. Obviously can't during feed script, but with a double Ravage, you may be able to find a Meteor Hammer play. A A good choice for if they do manage to siege further too. You can stun the towers, get some damage on those towers, and now Zucifer just sits in the pit, eagerly awaiting Roche's respawn, but it's another minute until he is back. Courier flies out. What's it buying? It gets a Demon Edge. Shadow Fiend wants another Rapier. No, actually, a Daedalus. Chrysalis, Daedalus is done. He's not saving for buyback at this point. Realizes against Megas that buyback may not be enough, and oh god, I think he's going to two-shot these supports, that Rubik especially. Are they going to be able to kill Frogger? He has so much lifesteal and so much damage. That's 800 damage. Critting for like 1600? 1900? I lied. A little bit more than that. Rubik has 1700 HP, could be one shot. Not a lot of armor on him either. Most of that armor nullified by, or drained out by Presence of the Dark Lord plus the Assault Cuirass. The AC is on Elder Titan, so let me take a peek. And Natural Order also. So he's losing 5 armor. That's not the real Dark Willow. He Lotuses himself just in case it is. Back to that cruel stalemate. Though this time, it will slowly begin to favor Spicy Thieves. You do have buyback on some of their heroes. The O has seen that Roshan's respawn. They need the Aegis. I'd rather see the Aegis on the Phantom Lancer, but it looks like they do value it a lot on Zucifer, and he's not 6-slotted yet either. Another Aegis. This is like the 6th Roshan, maybe 7th. I think it's 6th. Will they be able to utilize the Aegis this time? Several times it has timed out. Beastmaster Refresher Shard in the backpack. Ags gives him longer range on the shout. And a shorter cooldown. First Splitter used bot to keep the weight shoved. A very, very stale game, and gridlocked, really. Both teams, any mistake, you have Megas, but it's so late in the game that their heroes are so well farmed, so stacked, that that doesn't mean anything. And you're facing against a Rapier Shadow Fiend who crits for almost 2,000 damage. The Nullifier will help immensely. If they can nullify him, like once his BKB is down, if they can pop his Lincoln to get him Hex, then he's just going to get massacred. But the Lotus Orb the positioning from the Elder Titan could save with the Lotus Orb. The double Ravage you have to be incredibly mindful of. Both teams just, everyone's 6-slotted. The 7k gold lead, basically nothing. It just means Elder Titan has more gold than Rubik. This Bane is so, Cybonic is so poor. So is Rubik, really. 13k at 81 minutes it's 0. Rubik has a Refresher Shard, maybe eager to steal a Ravage and double Ravage himself. That could be insane. And yet, oh, playing patient. They recognize they cannot recklessly engage. Spicy Thieves. How is buyback status? That's going to be a deciding factor in this game. They have buyback on Tide and Venno, and then Dark Willow for O. Not bad for either side, but clearly favoring the Radiant. Control, if he gets picked off before he can Ravage, he can come back and use his Ravage. Nightmare onto Rubik. Are they going to try to engage? No, they don't want to go onto low ground. Bramble Maze just to secure him. Zucifer. Nothing yet. Has a Moon Shard, though. I believe PL has one also. There's no more growth for PL. Viper could get one more item. BKB is queued up. A Desolator from LDK will allow him to do some more damage, push towers a little faster if they do ever get to the enemy base, and even more, it synergizes really well with Natural Order, which of course reduces their base resistances and armor, but to 0. Like, Rubik has 12 armor. PL has 30, it'll be 0. Thanks to the Elder Titan. These heroes squishified by that ET and that damage amplified by the Shadow Fiend aura. Aegis should be reclaimed in a minute or so. So if they want to use this Aegis, they've got to do it soon. Sparkles still has that refresher shard. LDK wound and unwound an Earth Splitter down to bot, clearing the Megas as best as they can. The Megas are basically nothing at this point. They're able to keep them out of the base very effectively. Radiant scanning, they know that there's someone in their jungle on their side of the map. That's the only place that O would ever be caught, is on this Radiant half. They've claimed it. They've marked it their own. Oh, Frogger. They got the... Oh, they might get Sparkles. Yep, he's dead. No buyback on Rubik makes it a 4v5 for 2 minutes. There's a pause. Looks like there's a small technical difficulty and a mechanical difficulty from O. They're going to struggle without that Rubik, his lift, and the potential for steals for crowd control spells that they desperately need to lock down that Shadow Fiend, who just hits so hard. He got rid of his MKB and his Hurricane Bike. He sold them just for damage. He just knows the only way that they're going to win this game is if they just kill O, and he can do it. I mean, Sparkles was reduced to nothing in the space of a right click and a half from Frogger. Pretty sure he got brain stamped by Cybonic. If Phantom Lancer can nullify the Shadow Fiend, though, then they can kill him. But right now, if he pops that Satanic, they just don't have the damage. Necro 3 is also purchased by LDK, will allow them to push out waves a little bit faster. When the Megas come in, he'll most likely just keep that in his backpack and swap it out so that he can use it. I would like to see him sell that Veil and probably purchase a Veil for Bane or something. Just allow him to get a damage item. Like a Molnir, I think would be great for him at this point. Like the Veil is still good for them, but I think you get it on something like Cybonic, who doesn't really need anything else. They pinged him out, but they can't get on him. At minute 85, a 7k gold lead is nothing. XP completely even. I'm pretty sure everyone's 25. Yep. XP not even a factor anymore. And soon, I don't imagine gold will be either, as these heroes have reached their apex. But Spicy Thieves, they're running down the mid. They want to do something with this Rubik dead. Can they, though? The waves are still pushing in. Viper splitting up top. If Megas are in your base, you could lose everything. The Elder Titan relegated to defense duty. Viper can TP back. Rubik up in 30 seconds. I'm not sure that they'll be able to win the game off this, but they're definitely going to try. They cannot afford to lose anybody. The Elder Titan's still back. It is 4v4 if the Beastmaster can get back. They threw the Nightmare, but it's just a PL illusion. Viper Strike put onto control. Curse Crown also, his Lincoln's is broken. One right click. Just look at that damage. It's a lot. They Yules him. They're trying to keep him locked down. The Meteor Hammer, a roar. They're trying to fight Terrorize, but the BKB popped just in time by Frogger. Frogger going in and trying to fight the Ravage. Will hit on 2-3 heroes. Is it enough? He gets that double Ravage. He needs to make sure he gets BTC, but BTC pops the BKB in time. Look at that damage from Frogger, but he's muted. Now he's in trouble. He doesn't have that Satanic. He can't use it. He's taking so much damage. He doesn't have buyback either. Will he die? He does, but no, he does have buyback. He has travels too. He can travel in. Buyback from the Tide Hunter. Tide Hunter coming back in. TP onto LDK. LDK hitting for that. They want to get the ancient. They just need the ancient. That's all they need to kill. Oh, they're in trouble now, but they stop the TPs. LDC does die, but he has buyback. Buybacks. They're just buying back on everything. But are they forced back now? If they can lock down Frogger, he doesn't have his Lincolns. But they're forced to retreat, and they've lost their tier 4s. Their ancient exposed. Buyback from Bane. That was just by. Look at that. 5 buybacks results in a 12k gold swing for O. BKB finished on this Viper means he won't be the victim of a double Ravage anymore. It's like the thing about BKB as a late game item is you have a 10-second charge when they have 5. This, oh god, another. They picked up the Rapier that they dropped on the Shadow Fiend. This is such a gigantic gold swing, losing that Rapier. He's gonna try to buy up another. A heart-pounding game. But are we reaching the end? There's buybacks on 4 dire heroes. Even if they lose that next fight, it is entirely possible for them to defend. Spicy Thieves, the room for error is practically 0. They get a Hex onto 1, but they can't engage off of it. Win. Waiting in the wings. Earth Splitter. It doesn't hit anybody, but the cooldown is short. They can Lotus away the Cursed Crown. They do exactly that. BDC pushing in with that Rapier and that double crit. His damage is immense. Shadow Realm. Echo Stomp. Just putting illusions to sleep. Nightmare on 1 and a beat and another Rapier. There's 2 Rapiers in this game, but the Courier has to bring it to him. If they engage before that Courier arrives, or worse, that Courier dies, it'll drop. The Ancient naked, the tier 4's all gone, ravaged, but it whiffs! It just hits 2! They get a Fiend's Grip onto BDC. BDC has the Aegis, he already bought back. If he dies, they're gonna be the end of the game. They get Viper Strike, terrorized, but it doesn't hit anything through those BKBs, the magic immunity. Tidehunter, will he die? No, he survives. They roar off 1 onto the side. And the Cursed Crown stuns 2. Another stomp from that Centaur. And fire, oh, he's just massacred Frogger. Just chunks him to death. They buy back on all those heroes though, Ravage. They buy back on the Dark Willow, but not on not on the PL. PL still has that buyback. And another Rapier, 2 Rapiers on the Shadow Fiend, buys back on every single dire hero. But if they push out the Ancients are naked on both sides. The difference though, O has Megas, meaning if they leave their Ancient.
Stay healthy, stay moving.
Sorry, I'm trying to recover, catch my breath. If they leave the Ancient exposed against Megas, they could lose the game, even if they're hitting the opposing Ancient. There's fortification for both teams. Roshan not alive for another minute, but is the Aegis really anything now? Would these heroes rather have those items? And the Shadow Fiend, double Rapiers. He will one-shot Rubik if he crits. One-shot, possibly even heroes like Beastmaster. We've hit the 89-minute mark, 90 minutes, an hour and a half. This game, Aeon Disc for Rubik. Excellent pickup. We'll make sure, actually, if he's one-shot, he's still not. So, a good thought process, but he can still get one-shot by Shadow Fiend. The 17k gold, thanks to that Rapier going back in favor of Spicy Thieves, sitting at 7k. At the moment, this is just a Rapier tracker. This just tracks. Are there Rapiers? Oh, are going to wait until their Viper is back alive before they go and fight. Did I say Rapier back alive? Viper back alive? I'm not sure. I'm losing track of time. Smokebot from the Phantom Lancer. He wants to get in fights. He wants to get going. The big weakness, though, is BKB is now in the backpack of Frogger. I'd kind of rather... He does need that Linkage, though, because the long-range stuns from the Dark Willow and the Roar. But without BKB, he can be stun locked permanently. Live grade on this Elder Titan. I haven't talked much about him, but really he has been just like a game-winning hero. And now they smoke. On the offensive, they know that they cannot wait. They want to play the game on their own, but oh, they've smoked 2. There's a double damage rune. Oh no, this Roche is going to just get slaughtered. But they're in the pit. Pause. Then ODCs again. And Roshan. He's targeted. Oh, are perched on the high ground. Will they be able to get into the pit? Imagine a Terrorize hitting all 5 of those heroes. This Dark Willow is basically a core. So is the Elder Titan. He's reconnected.
Now where were we?
Roshan's still being gone on. That Manta Illusions will scout that they have engaged Roche. They instantly back off. Frogger stays in it. He wants to get that. He needs it. The Terrorize hits him. He's speared out of the pit, but a beautiful Echo Stomp. Keeping the back. Actually gets the DKB off just in time. He's slowed up. He picks up the Aegis. He'll hold on to it, and now he put his Daedalus in the backpack so he can have his double Rapiers with that Aegis. The Ancient, the Megas, they have to go back and defend. They can't make an aggressive play off this. They could even just wait it out.
Under attack.
Bounty.
But now the first Aegis in a long time picked up by Spicy Thieves. Both teams patient. It appears we're gonna, this network graph is going to be bounding back and forth. Sparkles has that refresher. We'll see that refresher shard. Will he be able to utilize it effectively? He needs to get a good steal. Even stealing, I think he needs to steal. Really, Ravage is the ideal, but like a Nightmare, when it like stealing double Nightmare, not bad. And now an Aeon Disc. Purchase for Dark Willow. She really isn't caring about her damage. She wants to survive long enough to throw down her CC onto this Shadow Fiend, but they may just want to wait the 5 minutes until that Aegis is gone.
Give me a coin.
His travels backpacked. Guardian Greaves thrown in the backpack. He wants to be able to split push, able to shove out. They might make a Mega Creeps comeback. They have the tools for it. Elder Titan picks up a Maelstrom and is going to hunt down and is going to queue up and throw down on his shopping list a Mjolnir so that he's able to clear PL illusions and Megas a bit faster. And have smoked. They have one more bagged up somewhere. If they can get tied, that's probably the bigger kill. But look at these buybacks. Nothing. The next fight win, it's probably the game. Although Spicy Thieves have a bit of a buffer. Spicy Thieves with the buffer thanks to their Aegis. Terrorize, wound up, hits LDK, they can engage 3v5, but no, they back off. They need to be cautious. Viper Strike thrown under control. He won't be able to use his Blink. Bramble Maze, he's taking a lot of magic damage this Tide. Retire is Ancient. It's getting hit. They're just going for it. There's fortification. Look at all that damage it's taking. They have to fight. They have to fight now. BKB from the Willow. BKB on one. BKB popped on Frogger. The Ravage. It really doesn't hit onto any. Here's hits on the supports. And Frogger just massacres BDC. That's got to be the game. They put the Roar. Another Ravage. He's just used the Raise. Another Ravage. The Ancient dies. Oh, weren't able to stop it. And with the double Rapiers, Frogger turns that well-farmed PL into mincemeat. Just slaughtered them. A 94-minute game. But Spicy Thieves, they hang on against Mega Creeps, and they win it. Oh, going to be hard on the morale coming back into that. What an exhausting experience for these players. And we're going to be going into the second game. Yes, that's right. There is a second game. This is just the first. Game number 2 coming here in just a moment. Thank you guys for sticking with it. Sorry for the bit of a out of breath at times for the cast. But hopefully the second game, we're going to ride the adrenaline high, and I hope those players will too. Thank you guys for sticking around. In game 2, here we go.